I'm going to show you how to shoot this Jordan ad in 10 minutes or less. You ready? Start the timer. Let's go. Alright, now before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to my soon-to-be brother-in-law, Jake, for hooking me up with this shirt. It came in so handy in the clutch, especially for this video. Now you might be asking, why would you have to make this commercial in 10 minutes or less? Well, if you're anything like me, I borrowed these shoes, so I gotta get them back to the person who lent them to me. Also, I have a full-time job, and I gotta be there in about an hour. Ideas sometimes pop in your head when you're on the run, or you see things that inspire you. So you have to know what you want to do ahead of time. I've already put the pre-concept together. I've already set up the lights and the backdrop. So now it's time to get shooting. Okay, to save time, I turned the mic around so you guys can hear me as I shoot. I'll just narrate the whole process. You see, one of the reasons this shoe is so iconic is because of the patented leather. But it's also a curse in this case because it's so reflective. It's picking up the green screen and it's making it kind of hard for me to shoot without getting that reflection on the leather. So I'm gonna have to pull the shoes away and try to keep the green screen in the background so I can still superimpose the background later on in post. I don't really want to shoot the platform that the shoes are on, so I'm gonna get a black cloth to make it look a little bit more sleek. Because the sneaker is so reflective, I could not set it on a green piece of fabric, so we had to do some editing in post. First, crop the sneaker as closely as possible. Next, go over to the Effects tab and select Draw Mask and place it onto the clip. Add your control points around the sneaker. Since it's sitting in a stationary position, we don't have to worry about keyframing. Once your mask is completed, go over to the Control tab and invert the mask. Grab whichever background you want and place it underneath the sneaker clip. Go over to the Effects tab, select Keyer and drop it on the clip. If the background isn't completely keyed out, adjust the settings until you get the result you want. So here we are, I'm setting up for the hero shot, and it's basically the last scene in a commercial that leaves you with a lasting impression of the product. Now all I'm going to do is wave the light over the tennis shoes to show some dynamic curves and to really accentuate the product.
It's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
Young blood's got no sense of history.
Horace Grant takes it away from him. Ahead to Jordan. Michael on the drive, in on Barkley for the jam. BJ head of the key, left side, Jordan.
So as you can see, we created a Jordan commercial for this Air Jordan 11, and it's my favorite one. It's the most iconic shoe because of this patented leather, but that also created an issue because it's so reflective, it started to pick up the green screen behind me. So I had to pull it away and make sure that I didn't pick up the green screen so it wouldn't key out the shoe when we did it in post. Another thing to remember when doing product shoots is to keep the product clean. The whole idea of doing a product shoot is to make it appealing to those who want to buy the product. So it has to be clean, it has to look good. And the last thing is, which should be the first, is pre-production is key. You have to have a concept in your mind and you have to make sure your studio is set up to shoot what you want to shoot. Because a lot of the times you might be borrowing a product and you have to get it back on a deadline, as I'm borrowing these shoes. So I have to get it back to the owner so that they can have their product and I can have my product to get to market. So those are a few things to keep in mind. As you can see, I'm a big Jordan fan. I've been all of my life. I got the shoes on top of shoes. I drew shoes for a living when I was in high school, so there you go. If you want to see more behind the scenes, make sure to like and subscribe. Do comment, let me know what you think about this product photography and this kind of shooting, and I'll see you next video.
Music bed. Music Bread.